I have a new obsession. Books. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rebecca and you should totally subscribe. I am so excited for this week's video because it is my first video where I'm going to be talking about books. This sounds super weird coming from me because I am in no way, shape, or form a reader. I never have been, but 2021 seems to be the year that's changed that for some reason. So far this year, I have read 7 books, which might not seem like a lot to some people, but trust me, it's a lot to me. All the books that I'm going to talk about in this video are books that will definitely make you love reading. And not to mention, a lot of these books, actually most of them, are very popular on BookTok and BookTube, so I thought that was a funny coincidence. So if you want to get into reading but you don't know where to start, keep on watching this video. Alright, so I'm gonna go in order of the books that I've read so far in 2021. So my reading journey started off with this one very special book called One of Us is Lying. This book, oh my goodness. I can never say enough about this book. This is definitely probably one of the favorite books that I've read so far. And this really is the book that made me want to keep reading. So this is called One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. And I would categorize this as kind of like a murder mystery book. And basically what it's about is there are 5 students who go to this one high school and they all get put in detention for different reasons. But one of the students named Simon never makes it out of the classroom, and somehow he had a tragic accident during the time that these 5 students were in detention, and like everyone has secrets and everything. There's this gossip app that this Simon character used to run, and it's all a super crazy murder mystery book, and I honestly love it. This book definitely started my obsession with murder mysteries, which sounds kind of bad, but I don't know, that just seems to be kind of my favorite style of book so far. Also, I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video, but if you want to go follow me on Instagram, my username is Rebecca Grace Official, and basically after every time I read a new book, I will post it on my story and you guys can see the rating that I gave it and other stuff like that. So after reading this book, I totally gave it a 10 out of 10. This book is just absolutely amazing. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, so literally right after I finished One of Us is Lying, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to read another book right now. So I basically found this one, and I've actually had this one for many years now, but I never read it. So after I read my first book, I was like, ooh, perfect time to read it, you know, I'm in the mode. So this book is called Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. And this book was super popular when it first came out back in 2017, I think. And in my opinion, this book definitely lived up to the hype. I really, really liked it. As you can see, the cover is beautiful. And basically this book is about a girl who has a really rare disease, and it's where she's basically allergic to the entire world. Everything. She literally can't go outside. And the only people who she's ever come into contact with or seen is her mom and her nurse. But then one day this family moves next door to their house, and there's a boy, basically her age I think, and she really likes him and she wants to become friends with him and everything, and the story just kind of elevates from there. I'm not gonna give away too much, but I definitely recommend reading this book, and once again, I probably will give this a 9.5 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. Definitely up there because I really, really liked it. The next book that I read is A Light Too Bright. This book is by Samuel Miller. Once again, cover art is absolutely stunning. This book was written in 2018, I believe, so it's not that old. And this book is definitely more of like an adventure, a little bit of a, not a murder mystery, but like a death mystery, adventure, discovery type book. And the description on the back is that Arthur Louis Pullman, that's the main character of the story, III's future is crumbling when he discovers a journal written by his famous grandfather, who was like an iconic writer who died in Ohio a week after he disappeared from his family's Californian home. And basically what happened within the time that he disappeared and he died was all a huge mystery, and he had Alzheimer's, and basically his grandson is trying to kind of figure out what happened to him and uncover this mystery. And it's a huge adventure book. He follows the journal's clues and meets a girl, everything like that. This is a super fun, quick read, to be honest. And the rating that I give this is a 9 out of 10. Alright, the next book is a very popular book that you have most likely heard of, and that is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. So this is probably like the most famous book talk and booktube book that I have ever heard of. There were definitely high expectations going into this book because of all the reviews that I've heard, and I definitely think that once again this book deserves the hype. Basically, there's this family called the Sinclairs, and in the summertime they live on a private island off the coast of Massachusetts, and basically this surrounds the fact that some of them are liars, given by the title of the book. And this book has a super crazy twist at the end. This book just left me absolutely speechless, and also the aesthetic and like vibes of this book is super fun. Definitely recommend reading this during the summer, and yeah, I absolutely loved it. I will totally give this like a 9.5 out of 10. Next we have a book called The Age of Miracles by Karen Thompson Walker. So this book I actually didn't read by choice. I actually read this for a project in my English class because basically we had to choose from a list of novels that have a social justice issue. Although I wouldn't call this book so much of a social justice issue, rather just like a social issue. And I honestly really liked it. I was surprised because normally I feel like whenever you read a book for school, it isn't like crazy good. But this one actually was. I would say that this is a little bit young for people my age. I'm 17. I would say this is more of like literally a 13 to 15, maybe 14 year age range. But basically, I thought that this book had a really cool concept. The issue of the book is that the Earth's rotation began to slow, and it's this whole novel about catastrophe, survival, growth, and change. The main character of the story is Julia, and her family struggle to live in this new type of world where they have to adapt and survive to this really big catastrophe. And also the ending of this book is crazy. Like, I was not expecting this ending. All in all, I give this book a 9.5 out of 10 probably, and it's also a really quick read, so I definitely recommend reading it. Okay, the next book is also a pretty popular book talk book that I've seen, and that is In 5 Years by Rebecca Searle, I think is how you say her last name. And yes, she has the same name as me. Love that. So I was really intrigued by the concept of this book because it kind of talks about, you know, how the future happens, everything happens for a reason, you can't change the future, and a lot of stuff like that. And it's basically where this main character, her name is Danny, she is obsessed with numbers and mapping out her future, having a plan for everything. And then one night she falls asleep and wakes up 5 years into the future and notices that everything about her life is different. Basically, it's like this super cool journey where we get to see how everything in her 5 years into the future dream kind of came to be, or if it came to be, and just basically takes you throughout her life over the span of 5 years. Super cool book, although I will give it like an 8.5 out of 10 just because I feel like the ending could have definitely had more to it, but it was still a really good book and I'm really glad that I read it. Alright, the next book I finished very recently, and this is also another very popular book talk and booktube book, and it is called They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. You have most likely heard about this book before. Once again, it definitely deserves the hype. I absolutely loved this book. It was just so good, and I really like Adam Silvera's writing style. I definitely want to read more books by him. Basically, this book is like super eerie, and what happens is these two guys get this notification during the night saying that they are going to die today. Because basically there's like this system called Deathcast, and they notify you on the day that you're gonna die. Yeah, this book is really dark, by the way. I recommend this for at least like 14 years old. Basically, it says that on September 5th, a little after midnight, Deathcast calls Mateo Torres and Rufus Emeterio, sorry, I'm not too sure how to say his last name, to deliver some bad news. They're gonna die in less than 24 hours. They're both looking to make a friend on their end day, so they both basically download this app called Last Friend, and they eventually meet up and go on this huge last day adventure together. And oh my goodness, the ending of this book, I literally can't. It's very crazy, let's just say that. And when I went to buy this book, I was like, like why is it called They Both Die at the End? Like, it wouldn't like give away the ending, but I guess you'll just have to read it and find out for yourself. Oh yeah, and the rating that I give this book is definitely 10 out of 10. Absolutely amazing, definitely recommend. Okay, so that brings me to the end of the books that I have fully read in 2021 so far. But I also want to show you guys the book that I'm currently reading, and it is called Again But Better by Christine Riccio. I'm only about 100 pages in, but so far I really like it. Once again, I actually picked up this book because I saw it on Book Talk. So let's just say the moral of today's video is to definitely read the books that you see on Book Talk because they're usually amazing. Anyways, yeah, so currently I'm reading this book, so you guys will be able to see the rating that I give it on my Instagram once I finish it. Once again, my username is @Rebecca Grace Official. Alright, so that basically brings me to the end of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. It was so fun making my first ever book video. And stay tuned because there will definitely be more book themed videos in the future. Let me know down below if you guys have read any of these books and what you think of them. Once again, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. You can subscribe and turn on the bell notification button so that you get notified every time I upload a brand new video. I upload every single Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So I will see you guys back here next week for a brand new video. Bye!